Stupid photography terms 7. Exposure triangle. Yes, exposure triangle. Hi, Rick here, creator and all things at the Splendid Photography Explained podcast. Now on my podcast, I'm currently working my way through the stupid photography terms. Exposure triangle is one of those stupid terms. Let me explain. Now, exposure itself isn't a great term, is it? So we're not off to a great starting point. And the exposure triangle, well, it doesn't make sense, not if you really think about it. I mean, how many times will you think about these three things when you're taking photos? You're not gonna, are you? If you're in manual mode, you're gonna start with the camera settings you want, and then you change things if you need to. In semi-automatic modes, you change one thing and the camera changes the other. In automatic modes, you accept what the camera decides or use the minimal adjustments available. But how many times have you actually used the exposure triangle? We've all seen the picture of the triangle with the aperture, shutter and ISO on the triangle's three sides. I came up with one of my own as well, and guess what mine had? It was a triangle with aperture, shutter and ISO on the three sides of the triangle. Did it mean anything? Nope. And mine was the same as everybody else's, apart from my handwriting is much worse than everybody else's, and I couldn't be bothered to type it all out and put it on the triangle. Exposure triangle. Have you ever used the exposure triangle? We all know what it means. It's about aperture, shutter and ISO, and how if you change the aperture by one stop, you need to make a similar opposite adjustment with the ISO or the shutter speed. Now, the reality is you should be using the lowest ISO possible anyway, so you should be working with aperture and shutter, because to use anything other than the native ISO on your camera is amplifying the signal digitally, which isn't good anyway. But have you ever used the exposure triangle? Have you sat there with the triangle and made the adjustments to your camera? I haven't ever, and I've been doing this for over 40 years. So that is why exposure triangle is a stupid term that we need to get rid of. Want to know more? Well, check out the Photography Explained podcast, which has its own website, photographyexplainedpodcast.com. I know, where do I come up with this stuff? Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for watching. Check out my podcast and my YouTube channel for lots more stuff, currently all about stupid photography terms. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe. Cheers from me, Rick.